Shanghai GDG is a very interesting developer community.
I'm glad somebody has asked this question.
This is where the magic happens.
This is primarily a question and answer show. So if any of you out there would like to ask questions.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jarek Wilkiewicz, and I work for YouTube. Here in the studio with me, I have Jeremy Walker.
Hello.
How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing pretty well today.
Good to see you. Long time no see.
I know.
On the Hangout, we have Jeffrey Palsnick, live from New York. How's it going, Jeff?
I might make it through the show without coughing. I think I'm at the tail end of my illness, for those who have been diligently following along week to week. So,
nice.
Pretty good.
Steady progress, though. That's iterative development.
It definitely is. I think I need maybe some agile scrumming or something like that to really get me over the last bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you need to improve at bug fixing, Jeff.
Probably it.
All right, so we have an exciting show for you today. Jeremy has been quite busy in his office, and he agreed to disclose the project that he has been working on. And I understand that it has something to do with application developers and featuring applications. So maybe we'll let Jeremy talk some more about what he has been doing.
Great, thanks. So yeah, I've been working on a new showcase for the YouTube apps for all the ones that were that have been submitted to us. We basically had a older one on the site right now. It's been around a while, and we wanted to revamp it to match the style of the developer.google.com/showcase. Showcase, just match that one. So what we started doing is getting together a bunch of the great apps that you guys have put out for YouTube, and started getting submissions, and we hope to have the first version up by early October, so next week actually. So
if I'm an application developer and I would like my app to be featured, what do I need to do?
That's a great question. So go to our Google Plus page and just write us, and we'll reach out to you and we'll get the process kicked off. But yeah, if you don't see yourself on that list next week, definitely reach out to us and let us know, because we'd love to feature any of the work you do with the YouTube APIs. We always like to help you guys out. So definitely reach out to us.
As far as the mechanics of submissions go, what does one need to have ready? In addition to a beautiful, working, innovative app?
That's a great question. So we actually need a couple things. We need a description of 300 characters or less. That's very important. Some people submitted longer than that. So if it's over 300, I'm going to have to cut it off, unfortunately. So make sure you get it all into 300. So that just tells us a little bit about your app and how you're integrated with YouTube. Screenshots and videos are good. But most importantly are the screenshots. They have to be in 16:9 aspect ratio. So make sure you do that. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cut them off to make sure they fit, and it may not, match exactly what you're looking for. So just make sure you get those. We can have up to 5. Usually one would be used for the thumbnail, and then just 5 others that people can scroll through, and then those will be added to the site. Outside of that, you just got to tell me, the name of the company. So it's really not very much work.
Cool. And then I understand that some developers have already submitted the information, and there's some early entries that we were going to show today. Is that right?
Yes, that's exactly right. So we had some people. I sent out a list to the current people on that already part of the showcase, and people that we've already worked with. And some of the apps that we've already seen, I sent out a huge mailing list with a form to everyone, and we did get some feedback. So the people that did submit, we're going to show some of them today.
Cool. Let's go through some of them just to see what your thinking process is like while accepting or rejecting these submissions. So,
great.
Show us some of the ones that you think are worth being showcased.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. Give me a moment. All right, so this is the first one. This one's called Vid Caster. So they're pretty neat little app. Basically what they do is they help you create a video portal very easily. So let's say you have a bunch of videos. This happens to be my YouTube channel. I've got some Smart Squirrels Gets Nuts, some old time help desk stuff. Basically a bunch of stuff that I uploaded to YouTube. But, you know, I'm not that great at SEO, let's say, and I don't want to create a video player from scratch, and I'm not necessarily using a white label player. I just I want to get a video portal up with my content and share it, but I don't want to do a lot of the work. So what they let you do, and this is their interface right here, is you basically import your channel, which I've already done here. You select a kind of a format you want to use. So in this case, I'm just going to use the basic rotator. You add a logo, which I actually already did here for the YouTube. And then you just confirm your URL, and you're pretty much done. Outside of that, they help you optimize a couple of things, and they give you tips and tricks. There's a bit more to it, but that gives you an idea. This is a great use of YouTube, and very little work if you already have your YouTube videos up.
Oh, great. Congratulations, Vid Caster. If you guys are watching, you'll be a part of the showcase.
Yes.
Anybody else that you would like to mention?
Yep, I got quite a few more, actually.
All right, let's go for it.
So Goanimate, so you guys probably saw them. We had them on a while back. They're a great site. So this is good if you're kind of camera shy. Some people maybe want to make some videos about their products, and this is just a great way to do it. You don't need to get a video camera. You don't need to do a whole production. You just go to their site, sign up, and it's kind of a freemium model, so you get a lot of free stuff, and if you want to add some more of the cool stuff, then you can pay for it. But in this case, I'm going to make a short video in anime because I love anime and manga. So you just pick a couple characters. Well, first you pick a scene. So you can see here, I'm just going to pick this Rice Cakes Home. You just pick a couple characters, and then you just put in some text. So you can use these voices. So I can say, what's up? And then, you can say, YouTube APIs are awesome, and then I'm done, and I hit preview, and you can see here it shows a nice little preview of these two people talking. Give it a second to load, and there they go. You can't hear it. What's up? And then it shows a picture of the cookies and tea. So
nice work.
Yeah. So you can see I did that in like a minute.
Okay, great. And then the video that is created can be uploaded to YouTube and shared.
Exactly. So you can upload this to YouTube and then push it forward. Yes.
And then for those of you that would like to learn more about how this application came about, we actually did host Goanimate on this show a little earlier. So if you look for our archival coverage, actually the interview with them is here in the show. They were actually joining us remotely from Hong Kong. Great. Anybody else that you have on your list?
Yeah, I got a couple more, and then I might turn it over to you.
Cool.
So this one's called Stupeflix. This one's pretty cool. So, like, let's say I don't know anything about animating, or not animating, but editing video together or pictures or anything like that. But I want to make something cool. Like, I have all these cool pictures, a couple of videos, and some music, but if I put it together, it's going to look terrible, honestly, because I'm not a great design person. So what this site lets you do is you basically, you sign in, you get 1 free credit, and then you can get a plan. But what you can do is you can upload pictures. Now here I've already uploaded, I just had my son, and so I put a couple pictures from him from Picasa. It lets you import from a lot of sites, pretty much every social site. So you can import a bunch of pictures. You can even add audio, upload your own, or you can just add some from their music lounge, which is kind of what they've already got. And then you can add more, like some more stuff. But here I can do a quick preview, and you can see it'll make a cool little video based on a theme I picked out. So you didn't see the theme page, but I picked out a theme page, and it'll do a nice little video. And I picked out the most basic one, so you're not going to see much of it, but you'll hear music, and you can kind of re-edit it, and it makes a really nice video that you can then export to YouTube and share with everyone. So this is just a way to, like, take all your pictures and stuff and put it together.
Nice.
And then I have another one, Vidyard, which is they make a white label player for companies, but they are also very deeply integrated with YouTube. So it's pretty nice. You can have on one side you can have your nice the nice UI that you've set up for your white label player, but it also lets you actually import the videos from your YouTube account and also run them with that same look and feel with themes. So in this case, I created a little player, and all these videos here, Bad Morning, Smart Squirrel Gets Nuts, and my webcam, these are all from my channel, and I actually just imported them, and I chose a nice little skin, and I play, and you can see it looks like your own white label player. Now, these guys offer a bunch of extras like analytics and like A/B testing and all sorts of good stuff for thumbnails. But this is just a great like white label player that's integrated deeply with YouTube that lets you not only have your white label player but also your YouTube and kind of combines them a little bit.
Yeah, I think the interesting part about Vidyard is they are similar to some of the other apps that we mentioned in that it's a business offering. So rather than consumer play, where people create fun videos and share with their friends, actually they're very focused on letting businesses really use the video and leverage the power of analytics to measure things such as conversion and how well the video is actually going to improve their bottom line. So a very interesting application. Congrats, Vidyard, on being featured.
Yes, and then there's one that I know I'm going to let you talk about.
Oh, right, Groove Video. So we did host them previously on our live show, and for those of you that missed it, what Groove Video allows you to do is to actually collaboratively create videos. So the use case here is, you have someone who has a birthday, you send a bunch of invitations to people that would like to congratulate the birthday girl or birthday boy, and then they have the ability to record short snippets of videos. Groove Video puts it all together in a nice, entertaining video and then presents it to the person that the video was created for. So very fun app. Really encourage you to check it out. They have a mobile version of the app, so you can actually record the video with your mobile device on the go, and they really take care of all the stitching together, transcoding and uploading to YouTube so the video can be shared. Very interesting application. Congrats to Groove Video.
Congrats.
There is a couple of more apps that I'm very interested in, and I wanted to highlight. One of that is Parrot, and for those of you that participated in Google I/O, you might have seen them in our developer sandbox. Those of you that didn't, I have a couple of videos that I wanted to share. One is a video that I took in their offices in Paris, France. Wow, that was fast.
You can try it, just a double tap. Anywhere on the screen.
This is what is actually a drone. Here's what it can do. Oh, wow.
Did you actually do that flip?
I was filming the flip, but a colleague of mine was actually operating a drone. It's actually easier than what it seems. You can operate it with a tablet. They've done a really nice job.
That's pretty awesome.
And then for those of you that actually came to Google I/O, you might have seen the developer booth. So this is the view of Google I/O from the perspective of the drone. So actually the drone is flying over our developer sandbox. So here's YouTube, a couple of other Google products, and taking video. So what they have done is allowed you to very easily upload video from the drone to YouTube. So very interesting application. Also a lot of fun. And as you can see, it's a pretty nice, high-quality video. So definitely a use case that we like to see. And here's the drone filming itself. All right, we're on replay, so we can stop this video.
Anywhere on the screen.
And move on to the next one.
All right. And then the other, I think the other thing that was interesting too is they actually integrated with Google TV, because I remember in one of the videos they presented of our sandbox, they showed that that integration. So they were showing both at the same time. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, which actually reminds me, one of the features that we have on the showcase on developers.google.com is we can actually tag the product with multiple APIs that are being used. So, if you're building an app and you use a bunch of different APIs, like in the case of Parrot, it's a YouTube API, Google TV, then mention that, because that will help your app to be discovered. If someone is looking for examples of specific integrations, they can actually see your app right there. So is that extra points?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Let's look at a couple of other applications that I wanted to share with you. These ones are actually mobile apps. So I'm going to switch over to my tablet here and show you a couple of them. So let's take a look at the first one. And this is Band of the Day by 955 Dreams. For those of you that came to Google I/O, you might have caught our joint presentation about building mobile applications for content curators, creators, and consumers. So Kieran, the CEO of 955 Dreams, was actually speaking. And here's their app. So what this app allows you to do is basically every day get a new band that you can discover. So let's just check out today's band, Freddie Gibbs. You can actually learn more about the artist, read the bio, read reviews, and so forth. And obviously, you can also watch videos. So they integrated the YouTube embed player on iOS. So this is running inside of a UI web view using the iframe embed. So if you hit play, it'll actually play the video in the application. Now, another application that we also have in the gallery is Flipboard. Flipboard, for those of you that are not familiar with it, it's a social magazine, so you can actually integrate a lot of various data sources. They also have their own recommendations and curation capability, and then you can consume it all within a simple, beautiful experience. Recently, Flipboard integrated YouTube API, so this is my Flipboard feed. I have tiles representing various data sources, and then if I scroll to the last page, I have my YouTube videos. So you can actually see my subscriptions. I'm a big fan of PBS NewsHour. This is where I get my news. I have to admit, I'm a big Epic Mealtime fan, and this is where I get cooking recipes from. If you guys haven't seen them, it's actually quite fun. So between coding sessions, it's a great way to relax and catch up on the latest cuisine recommendations, and a couple of others. So really what you see here is that subscriptions are actually fetched using the YouTube API and presented inside of the Flipboard app. And you can also interact with the content. So you can like a video directly from the app. You can comment on the video as well. So as you see here, I can write a comment directly from the application, and the way this is implemented is by using the YouTube API.
Yeah. And
so
they have a couple API integrations too, didn't they? They launched a week before.
I think they also integrated G+. As a part of the same release. So definitely an interesting integration example.
Yeah.
So I think this is all we have for today, but I understand that the list is actually larger.
Yes, it's much larger. So we have we're launching with about 35. So check that out next week. We'll be talking to a bunch. Well, we've been talking with most of you anyway about this stuff. So if you also would like to become, talk to us on the show, we're very interested in that too. So, so continue reaching out to us. And again, if you're not on that first list, then definitely reach out to us on our Google Plus page.
Don't despair and just reach out.
Yeah, we'll get you up as soon as you get us the information. So, well, not as soon, but probably a week later or so.
Okay, sounds good. And I think also looking through the gallery will give you a good idea about the types of applications that we feel are interesting and worth spreading the word about from our perspective. So let this be the guide as well if you would like to participate in the showcase.
Yeah, and that's on developer.google.com/showcase. Just remember showcase.
Great. So now we have some time left over. So I know another thing you have been recently working on is some blogging. Jeremy, how's that going?
Good, good. I actually did my first blog post on the YouTube API.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I thought it was important to talk about channels, YouTube channels and business. So I wanted to do that first. So I don't know if any of you guys saw, or if you went to I.O. or you've been watching I.O. videos, and you've probably seen the presentation by Dror and AJ. They're two of our PMs and experts in channels. They did this great presentation on why it's important to have a channel on YouTube. Not only do we have 800 million unique users per month, but people don't realize how easy it is to have a presence. And you notice I said presence. I didn't say create video. I said presence. So you can create video, and it's very easy, and they go into that. But a lot of channels actually curate content from their users that use their apps or products or whatever. So they go into that too. So there's really a lot of options. So they basically broke it down to 3 basic categories around what your goal is. The first one is raising awareness. The second one is raising money. So any of you startups out there, if you want to look into that, that's pretty important. They go into some studies on like how much it increases to have video, how much more money you get. So it's pretty important to check that out. Again, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, stuff like that. So check that out, and then finally research and supporting your users so you can kind of figure out. It's a great R&D environment. YouTube is. You can figure out what features are popular, what are not, and you can get a lot of analytics around that to make your decisions on maybe you build this out more. You may be surprised that people really like a feature that you didn't think much about. So they kind of go into little studies about each of those. And the really neat thing about the presentation is every slide or so they show a video, and they're funny videos, they're good videos, because they're content, they're not commercials, which they'll drive home a lot. But basically, it's really a joy to watch it. It's like watching a playlist with commentary in between. So I did a short blog post that's up now, so check that out. I embedded the video there, so I'd strongly suggest you check it out, especially if you're building something out, whatever you're doing. If you're building an app and you want some exposure, you definitely follow that, and then they give you some great resources after that. So
cool. Yeah, I saw the presentation, and we actually hosted Joe and AJ before Google I/O to speak about the presentation. So very useful. As you said, whether you're a content creator or you're an entrepreneur and you would like to use YouTube to really promote your product, whether you create the content yourself or you let crowdsourced content serve as the promotional videos for your product, you can definitely do that. Jeff will probably like me to say that YouTube Direct is a great way to actually achieve that, solicit the videos from users, and in fact a lot of businesses are doing it that way, so they don't actually have to hire someone to produce the videos, because the users do it for them, and sometimes they actually are very fun and innovative videos that they can get. So great fun session. I think one thing that you didn't mention is there's a lot of cool videos in the video itself.
Yeah.
So really fun and entertaining watch. I highly recommend that you check it out. Yep. Great. So I know Jeff has been busy with our Stack Overflow transition. Jeff, how is that going? Any update from your front?
For those who have not been following along with our communication, we've announced in a couple of places now for a while that we're going to be getting rid of, or I guess turning into read-only mode, our existing Google group that we previously used for support with any questions about the YouTube data or player APIs. And instead we're encouraging that folks do one of two things if they need any help with the APIs. Either if it's a feature request or if it's reporting a bug, opening an issue in our issue tracker, hosted on code.google.com, is the best way of doing that. And that'll just make sure that it gets our attention. We could assign internal bug IDs to these things. It's actually a lot better than the old situation where people would post it about a bug to a mailing list, and then we'd kind of have to track down the original posting to update people, and lots of duplication, things like that. So issue tracker for certain things, and then for just general YouTube API questions, like how do I do this? Is it possible to do that? We're asking that folks use Stack Overflow, and that's something that people have been doing just kind of organically anyway, without any encouragement on our part. Stack Overflow is a great resource that developers just know about and know to go to use. And the nice thing is that now we're going to be actually officially providing support from our team on Stack Overflow. So in addition to getting questions answered by members of just the general Stack Overflow community, you'll get me answering some questions, and Yark and Jeremy answering some questions as well. So I've enjoyed it. It's been nice watching my Stack Overflow reputation grow as I started posting. I really was not, I was a consumer of Stack Overflow answers, I guess. They always tend to be great answers that show up in search results when you're trying to solve something, but I spent all my time posting Google Group. I couldn't also devote the time to Stack Overflow. So now I'm building up my Stack Overflow reputation and enjoying that.
Yeah, Jeff, and thanks for actually dressing up our section there on Stack Overflow with a nice logo and everything. I think that makes it more official. I think we are now legit.
Yes, we are. So please, October 15th is the date that we're going to be switching the old discussion Google group into read-only mode. But don't wait until then to start, either using the issue tracker or start Stack Overflow. Definitely encourage you to do one of those.
Great. We have some time left, so why don't we check the question section on our moderator. So we have 2 questions here. One is from Jeremy Walker. I know this person.
Who's that?
It's about hiring. Is Google YouTube Developer Relations hiring?
Yes, we are. Google Developer Relations is hiring, and so is YouTube. So, apply. We're very interested. Just go to the site and look at the jobs listings and apply.
Great. Next one is from Jeffrey Posnick, also a very familiar name, New York City. So the question is about playback of YouTube videos on iOS 6, whether there have been any changes in this area.
Yeah. So
I'll let you answer your own question, Jeff. This is by the way, Stack Overflow style.
This is the only way I could get anybody's attention. I feel like I need to use the built-in moderator. But no, I just I realize that this is something that I've been seeing a lot of questions about recently, and I don't have the full answer, but I wanted to just share what I think has changed so far. I actually haven't had a chance to update some of the test devices I have to iOS 6 yet, but just a little bit of background for folks who have previously embedded YouTube videos on web pages and had those either playback in the mobile Safari on an iOS device or within a UI WebKit view within an iOS application. If you've used the embed tag, like brackets embed, basically, and use that to embed a video, playback was previously handled by the I guess now the legacy YouTube application that was installed on the phone. It would actually open up the YouTube application, play back the video, and then go back to your web page or application when that was done. That's changed in iOS 6, and what I think has been happening based on what I've been hearing from folks is that the tags are being automatically translated into iframe embed tags, and then playback is happening inline now, which is what you normally see with an iframe player, and it's using native HTML5 video within those apps. So that's not something we have complete control over, actually. So if you're seeing this, it kind of caught me a little bit by surprise, although it does make sense. But I think that's what you're seeing. I don't know whether Yark or Jeremy, you've had a chance to play around at all and confirm any of that or what.
Yeah, I think on the iPad is inline playback. I believe on iPhone devices it's still full screen. I think the difference is, as you mentioned, it's actually using the HTML5 video tags. So the old legacy embeds will still continue working. They're just being rewritten as the iframe embeds. So now, our iframe embed implementation is going to kick in, although that internally uses the video tag implementation provided by the browser on these mobile devices. So, if you see any issues or any feedback, please, let us know. Ping us on G+, or ask a question here in the moderator. If you have problems embedding,
Don't ping us on Google+. Ask us a Stack Overflow question.
Yeah, if you have problems.
Or open a bug in the issue tracker.
Yeah, sure. I'm still getting used to the new world, apparently. But listen to Jeff. Definitely, that's the right process. All right, so I think this is it. No more questions. I think this is a short and sweet session today. I would like to thank Jeremy for spending all the time putting together the showcase. I understand it's launching early next quarter.
Yep.
So looking forward to that.
Thanks.
And then again, if you have an application you would like featured, please let us know. And check out the ones that will be launching, just to get a basic idea about what type of quality we're looking for. In the meantime, keep innovating, keep hacking.
Yes.
And I guess we'll see you again next week. We're looking into a live from New York session next week. Just confirming a very exciting guest, so it should be pretty fun. And Jeff, thank you very much. I think you're making steady progress. I've been counting your coughs, and definitely the trend is the right one. They are decreasing, right in time for the flu season starting on the East Coast.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye, everybody.
Till the next week. Bye.
Bye.